This time on DawgStrip, we pick up a new project to help battle with the winter boredom. This British basket case is a 1960 Triumph Herald. After sitting for decades, let's see what the DawgStrip boys can do with it. Pitter patter, let's get at her.
After waiting for the previous owner to clear up the paperwork, we were now there to pick up the car. 3 long months were torture for us, but at least now, the wait is over.
That's probably the easiest car we've ever loaded.
By no means are we experts or even familiar with British cars, so we took a chance on this relic. As it turns out, a Triumph Herald is very similar to a Triumph Spitfire, sharing many of the chassis and driveline components.
We call this car a basket case because it was purchased disassembled, no history, and packed full of about 3 cars worth of parts.
Alright, the great thing about buying a basket case is you have no idea what's going to be inside of it. We've already taken a peek in the window and we can see there's some goodies that we need. Where was it? Here's a bumper guard we were missing, so we know we already have that. Awesome. You find some little shiny things. Okay, that's cool. But then it's always the crap you don't want, but whatever. You're right, son.
At this point, we get to play archaeologist and dig through the car to uncover its past. We believe the Herald was last on the road in 1972 with 18,000 miles. From found receipts, we believe it was worked on in the early 1990s, at which the 958cc power plant of Fury was replaced with a 1300cc motor from a Spitfire. Unfortunately, the carburetor has been missing for about a decade and the motor is currently locked up.
Most important thing, step 1. Let's see if we can fit in the car. It's snug. Snug as a bug in the rug. It is cute.
Now it's snowing. As you enjoy this video and the ones to follow, please don't think of them as a how to restore your classic Herald. This is simply what we did with ours, for entertainment purposes only. So try to have a laugh while you are here. It's cold. At least it's inside now. After we and the Herald thaw out overnight, it's time to investigate the seized motor.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Giving it a long soak with WD-40, then confirming all the valves move. With no history and the intake left wide open to the elements, we feared the worst. A dreaded feeling, not knowing if the engine was salvageable. Buying a 60-year-old car is a gamble at any stage.
Holy shit, it turned! It turns!
What do you see? The water pump seized. The belt's turning, but the pulley wasn't.
We'd like to introduce you to Hobo, because you'll be seeing a lot of him in this video. He's a stray cat from the neighborhood that'll come around and hang out in the garage. During these winter months, we built him a heated shelter to help him endure the minus 20-degree weather. Of course, we feed him and took him to the vet when his face got infected. You may notice the missing fur on his cheek. Safe to say, we are now his humans.
Director Kitty. Action.
Despite all the parts in the car, we could not find a complete or usable carburetor. But there was still plenty of work on the car to keep us busy. The brake system had a lot of new parts, but was seized from sitting so long. we managed to get everything moving again, and happily, no new parts were required.
Up next is the cleaning of the fuel tank. It was in great shape and solid, but filthy with half a tank of varnished fuel and rust. We resealed the tank before a top coat and reinstalling it back in the trunk.
Okay, so crazy little thing. Just took the oil filter off the motor, which is crazy because the fitting comes out with it. So hopefully that will come out of the end of the filter. But PH16. It's like, do I have a spare laying around the shop? Like PH16. Like horrific amount of dust on that. What are the odds? PH16. I know it's a Fram. I hate Fram, but whatever. I have it. Gonna use it.
While getting more desperate to find a carburetor, we strike Craigslist gold. And after an 8-hour round trip, we come home with all of this. A set of Spitfire dual carbs, 2 overdrive units, and even a header. A quick clean and it was time to swap intakes to see if the old Herald will run.
Alright, we've had this thing for about 2 weeks. It's been sitting for about 30 years. Seized. Let's see if it'll run. Okay. Happy Kevin is happy. And dying of holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of smoke.
Now that the engine runs, we move on to the cooling system. Running the engine as a closed loop, we had to dump and refill about 30 times before the water ran clear. Luckily, no cracks or leaks were found. Hooray for small miracles.
Next, we changed out the exhaust manifold. Clearly visible is the difference between the two. Behind that, we built a 1 3/4 exhaust system with a chambered muffler.
With everything going along well, we tend to the last remaining vintage fluids, changing out the gear oil in the transmission and rear differential. Lastly, building a custom air filter housing. This particular air filter is from an 1100cc Suzuki motorcycle, for those of you that need to know.
After a quick clutch and brake check, it was time to let the Herald stretch her legs. Get her out on the open street for a proper shakedown run. But you're gonna have to wait until the next video to see that outcome. Dot dot dot.
Next time on DawgStrip, we take the 60-year-old Herald up and down the street and let her run wild. The first time it's moved under its own power in, well, who knows when. Who needs floorboards when you've got 4-corner drum brakes? Safety's fine when you've got the time.
Haynes.
How old is that?
Baby food. Haynes baby food.
It's still good. Go.